Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome, and it is time for my annual checkup. Not my health, but the health of Flight Simulator 24. Every so often I fire it up, do all the updates, and then have a look at it to see if there's any improvement. There were things before that I just couldn't do. I couldn't pick a different 737. I couldn't change my livery without it crashing to desktop or freezing up. There are a lot of things I couldn't do. It was just unstable. So we're going to have a look at it now and see if it performs any better. It is still not my go-to flight simulator, and it won't be for a while because it does not have all my favorite airplanes in it. It doesn't have my PMDG 737s. It doesn't have my iFly 737 MAX. So it is not my flight simulator of choice, but I do hope that one day it will be. And one day it will be a fantastic sim, and I'll have all my favorite 737s in here. But not at the moment. But let's just see if it's stable and everything's working well, shall we? Okay, so let's see if we can pick a livery without it crashing to desktop. I'm going to pick Alaska Airlines. It's a very nice livery. Let's go back and we'll just see how far we get with this little flight, shall we? So if it comes to a dead end, don't worry guys. We'll do another video again later, probably in Flight Simulator 2020. But let's just have a go at this and see how far we get. Let's put it that way. Now things go wrong and we stop, but it's not always the fault of the simulator. It could be something clashing with my computer, my setup or configuration. It could be just me being dumb. I don't know. But it was unstable before. That is 100% sure. So let's have a look and see if it is any better today, shall we? We are going to check it out. So I'll leave from there, gate 13, it's San Diego. And we're just going to do a short little hop over to Palm Springs. It's a beautiful scenic little flight. There's no ILS at Palm Springs. We have to do a manual approach and a manual landing. But that will be absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. I hope. Now I have got some water somewhere. While this is loading, I'll duck away and get my water. Right, I've got my water here. We're not going to... Got my water. Now we're not going to be too fussy with startups and setups and all the right procedures and different things. It is just a test flight today to check this thing out and see if we can actually fly from A to B and to see if it is actually stable or not. So here we are at San Diego. It is a beautiful sunny day, not a cloud in the sky. It's still loading. So we'll just let it go through the motions. Don't try and do too much just as it's loading because it just may freeze itself up again or something like that. Okay, so here we are. We appear to have spawned in. There's our plane and it is looking beautiful. We're in the 737 MAX, although it's not really study level. Nowhere near up to speed as like the iFly, but it's good enough for today because we're just testing the sim to make sure everything is stable after all the updates. Now I still hate the fact I've got to go around and take the covers off. It's just so unrealistic for pilots to do that. It's a bit of a immersion killer for me. So as soon as they wake up and get rid of that in free flight for the 737, the sooner they wake up and organize that, the better. It is just not good. Okay, we have to come a bit closer, do we? There we go. Right, get rid of the chocks. We'll check those. There's some ribbons or something up here we need to We need to get rid of these as well, do we? Click on those, or we got to come a little bit closer. This is just silly stuff, guys, for a pilot to be doing all this. And a 737. Okay, for the little puddle jumpers and the general aviation, there are pilots that own their own planes and they do all the covers and everything, you know, so that's okay. But we can do our walk around, but we're not doing that. We're just going to try and fly from A to B to see if this jolly thing actually is going to work. If the simulator is going to be stable enough to fly from A to B for me on my computer. Probably work perfect for you many times. No problem. Good luck. And that's fantastic. But for me, it has been a bit of a dog. Okay, so we'll get things started. And I'm going to start up the APU straight away. Actually, we're not going to muck around doing all the passengers and all the correct procedures and stuff we have to do. We're just going to fire up and get going. Right, so we'll come up here and we will put our IRS around to navigation. Oh, that co-pilot help is on. That is a pain in the neck. We need to get rid of that. Go into the options and get rid of Pro Pilot hints and tips. That is a pain. And they ask me no questions. Got some lovely little liveries today. What else have we got? A few other liveries there we'll have a look at. Okay, let's go down to our FMC and see if this thing is working. Okay, we're at KSAN. There we go. I'll put that down there. Okay, route KSAN. KSAN, and we're going over to KPSP, which is Palm Springs, Jetin 108, that will do us there. And we're going to performance in it, cost index 35, reserves 1,000, 0 fuel weight. That is done. Altitude 10,000 feet. It's a very short hop. We may go higher than that. We may not as well. Flaps 5. Depart and arrive. We'll depart Ksan out runway 09. Okay. Depart and arrive. PSP 31 left. We're going to arrive at 31 left. I'm not sure if it's Y or Z. We'll click Y. We'll see what happens. Legs. Let's have a look at our legs. First one we're going to is Rebo. So let's put some waypoints in here. You can copy this and have a go at this flight plan. Actually, it's a really nice little trip. Very scenic, beautiful. You may be able to do a flight plan that's more professional than me, of course. VYDDA, VYDDA. I do very basic, simple, easy flight plans. WAPAS. Let's do WAPAS. WAPAS. WAPOS, that's it, WAPOS. We'll put that in there, and then we'll go to Avone, A-V-O-N-E, Avone, we'll stick that in there. Okay, next page we'll go to Gerod, G-E-R-O-D, we'll go to Gerod. Execute. We'll go to Gehone, G-E-E-H-O-N-E, We'll put that in there. We'll go to HOAP. Okay. HOAP. Drop them in there. We'll go to Bobby. Where's Bobby? Okay. B-O-B-B-Y. We'll put Bobby in there. And we'll take runway 31 and put it in after Bobby. There we go. Oh, we got a discontinuity there we need to fix. That should be it, Bobby, and then runway 31. Go back here to Rebo, our first waypoint. Right, so let's have a look on the flight planner and see how this little plan has come up here. We'll step through it. There is Rebo in front of us. Then over to Vidya. Gerard. And then in to runway 31. I might zoom this out and have a look. See if I can get a better overall picture of it. Keep hitting the wrong button there. Okay, there we go. That looks alright. I think that'll be okay. Right, so let's go ahead and we'll start some engines soon. Keep pushing that wrong assignment button there. I need to get rid of that. I'm going to change the time of day. That's a bit better. It's a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. And our engines are firing up here nicely. They will be. They will be soon. I got to fix that view button that keeps taking me outside. That's crazy stuff. I need to fix that. So I'm not looking outside every time I hit that button. See that? How can we change that? Go into settings. That button is on my Xbox controller. It's on my Xbox controller, that button, and it is one of the views, so I'll put in view, external view. There it is there. I need to delete that one. So with that one we will delete. Okay. That'll be it. Okay. And it still goes to there. That's weird. Let's have another look. It's the X button. So the jolly X button. Controller. Okay, search by input. Hit the X button. Cockpit external, reset toggle parking brakes, external view mode. That's the one I need to delete. External view mode, that one. Cockpit external view. It's not showing up there. What's going on? Cockpit external view. Scanning. Nothing. Scan cancelled. Still a X. So I've got to delete that external view on the X. So go into there, delete assigned control. Okay, so we'll delete it, see what happens. Toggle parking brake, and I don't need that because I've assigned that to the enter key. So we'll delete that one. Okay, so now when I hit that one, we don't go outside. You see I've got my yoke here, and just velcroed in the middle is my Xbox controller. So by touching the levers on my Xbox with my thumb, I can look around the cockpit, just like a head tracker mode, but I don't have to move my head around all the time. So that would drive me nuts, it would drive the viewers nuts. So I can use my Xbox controller to look around the cockpit there. And I can do it outside when I'm outside as well. So my outside view is on the flight yoke button now. And then I use my Xbox controller to look around the airplane outside, just like that. Works beautiful. And I've assigned exactly the same assignments in Flight Sim 24 as I have in 2020. So moving between the two, all the buttons and assignments are exactly the same. I don't have to learn new buttons or different assignments. Whichever flight sim I'm in, the assignments and the buttons are all the same, which is just bloody brilliant. Okay, so let's get our other engine going here. And then we'll get some other things set up, and we're going to fly over to Palm Springs. Lovely, scenic little flight. It's going to be beautiful. We have to do a manual approach and landing because there is no ILS in Palm Springs. So give it a go. You've got to fly down, around, through, over some mountains, up the gully, up the Palm Springs Valley. It is just so scenic, guys. It really is scenic. So I'm going to see if I can get some pushback going. See if we can get some pushback going here. Okay. Can we move this? Okay. Departing straight out. Okay. Acknowledge taxi clearance. Ground services. Can we get some pushback? Come on, guys. Request pushback. Okay. Steer to the left. Pushback. Steer to the right. I think I want steer to the left. That will do me. Just had to think about that for a while. Have we got our brakes off? Hit enter. We'll take our brakes off. And we are on our way back. It's a little bit jerky. Things are doing some funny things here today. Not exactly smooth, is it? And I got to figure out how to turn those taxi lines off. I thought it would be hitting T, but T doesn't seem to do it. I don't want to spend the time figuring it and configuring everything now, so I'm just going to leave it there. Okay, that will do us for pushback. so we have some engines running. Well, sorry guys, it looks like I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing here. Okay, but that's fine. I just want to go from A to B as quickly and easy as possible, and see if everything's working, basically. If it's all working and I want to do some more flights, I know I'm going to be fine. I'm not going to waste too much of my time firing it all up, you know. Okay, so we got 2 good engine starts. I'll put some packs on. Put our engines on the bus. Turn off the APU bleed. Generators on. Right, so what else can we do? Auto brakes around to rejected takeoff. Put on our flight directors. Takeoff speed, let's take that up a little bit. Take that up to 190. 190 vertical speed, we'll worry about that later. We won't put the auto throttle on just yet. I think we can taxi. I think we will taxi. Give her a little bit of juice and we'll see how we go. Huh? She's not veering to the left or the right like it was before. I had to actually replace my yoke, damn it. I had to spend quite a bit of money. The yoke was getting rather floppy and I could not get the plane to go in a straight line. It was always pulling to one side. Whether it was the springs inside the flight yoke, it was sort of leaning to one side a bit more. But there is no actually option on the Logitech flight yoke on this. It is a basic model. There is no actually way to configure it. So that is a bit of an issue with this Logitech flight yoke. It is a basic beginner's one, I admit. But never mind. You should be able to configure it somehow, so that when you're moving it through all the different directions, it goes back to neutral, and the little white dot is bang smack in the middle. But with mine, it wasn't. It was always up to the right a bit. I could not get the center neutral zone to be in the center of the graph. So when I put the new flight the new flight yoke on, plugged it all in and set it up, the dot was in the middle and everything was aligned perfectly. So I think it must have been something wrong with my yoke. I've had it for years and years and years, so I can't really complain, I guess. I've had a long run out of it, but it just is a lot of money to sort of to fork out. I do spend a lot of time on Flight Simulator, probably more than most people. But everything seems to be running okay. We've got a lovely Air New Zealand plane over there. So far, Elastic Airlines livery is running. So it does seem a lot more stable than it was when I first got it. The first few weeks I got it, I just couldn't get a good flight in from A to B at all. It was really difficult. Especially if I chose another livery or another plane. So now it looks like my wheel brakes are not working now. I went to apply the brakes, but they didn't seem to be working. Yeah, push the brakes down, nothing happens. So let's go in here, settings. I'm using the button on my flight yoke. Controls, we go to SciTech flight yoke. And I'm going to type in brakes. Brakes, there we go. Toggle park brakes, parking brakes off. Put your brakes on, just the brakes there. Let's hit that and bang, we'll hit that one. That should be our brakes. Done. Save and go back. Back. Okay, let's see if the brake pedals move. Here's a little bit of movement on the brake pedals there. Maybe that will be it. Okay, let's do our final checks. Landing lights on. We'll come over here, we'll put our I won't put our auto throttle on. I'm going to do that by hand actually. I'm going to control the throttle myself. Flaps, you're going to put our flaps down 5. Flaps are down 5 and our trim, we'll set our trim up here. So it's going to lift our nose up and not push our nose down. Right, I think we're good to go, guys. Let's try this thing out and see if we can fly from A to B, shall we? Take off our brakes, give her a bit of juice. And we'll see if we can our brakes on or off? Damn it, they're on. Okay, brakes are off. Let's get moving. Right, let's try our foot brakes because I've just done the setup for them. Yep, there we go. Our brakes are working. Beautiful. Let's get onto the runway here. We'll pretend we have clearance for departure. See if we can get into the middle, nice and straight. Now we're going to feed her the fat, boys. Feed her the fat. We're going to fly up over the city today, which will be nice as we head over to Palm Springs. Right, up 40%. Thereabouts. Right, let's go. Be holding the nose down until we get to rotation speed. Gear up. G. Alright, let's have a look at the city. There's the city. She's a bit blocky, it's not very smooth, but that's got more to do with my computer and my settings, I believe, rather than any fault or bug with the game. Let's come over here and we'll switch on our autopilot and our auto throttle. Vertical speed we will bring up to 1.8. And let's hope we are on our way. We'll flick the display over to map mode so we can see where we are with our flight plan there. Bring our flaps up. Looks like the plane wants to follow our flight plan. Okay, landing lights can go off, strobe lights. Well, looking good. See some beautiful scenery today as we head over to I want to turn this moving map off because there we go. To switch it onto another page. The moving map will slow down my frame rate immensely. So if you don't need that, now if I do want to see it, I can just flick the button on my controller and it'll come up. I can have a look at the plan if I want to. Look at the scenery, guys. This is gorgeous. This is beautiful as we head out over San Diego and over towards Palm Springs. Here we come. There's the city of San Diego and the haze there in the background. As we head up over the mountains. Heading up over that way, over the mountains to Palm Springs, and then we're going to cruise up the Palm Springs Valley and do a manual approach and landing into Palm Springs. Lovely little airport. There is no ILS there, I don't think, so it has to be a manual approach and landing. This is an everyday flight for Jet-In Airways. We fly from San Diego to Palm Springs every day, and then from Palm Springs over to Los Angeles, which is just a hop, skip and a jump up the valley and over the hills to Los Angeles, over to the coast, and then we come back down to San Diego. So it's like a loop around, if you like, a milk run. It is quite fun doing the whole loop in one session. You go to Palm Springs, over to Los Angeles, and then down to San Diego. Quite a lot of fun if you do the whole loop. You do need a bit of time though. But it is a nice little loop, very scenic, very scenic. Flaps up completely. Okay, cruise speed. Let's set this at 250, shall we? Go a little bit faster, or it'll be all day getting there. We don't have any lunch packed on board, so we might as well get there in time for lunch. 250. There we go. Coming up towards 10,000 feet. Coming up to Wapos, and then we're turning over to the left. Head over towards Palm Springs Valley. Oh, getting quite a bit of stick shake here. What's going on? What's going on? Has our autopilot come off or something? No, autopilot's still on. Have we got a bit of turbulence or something? The stick is shaking like crazy. I don't know if you can hear it. It is really shaking, man. It says we're doing 300 knots there. Uh-oh, we've got this old problem again. We've got this old problem, guys. Remember this we had before? Remember this? Oh my giddy. We had this before, remember? So has there been no improvements at all? Has there been no improvements? Flight director off. What is going on, guys? Autopilot is off. Let's bring the throttles up. Take manual control. Let's take manual control. Bring the nose up. I got no idea what's happening there. But I turned the autopilot off and took over with manual control, and it seems to be settled down. Have any of you had that issue? And if it is, let me know what you think. Let me know what it is. Is it pilot error? There's a very good chance it could be pilot error. If that has happened to you, just let me know in the comments. It could be something that I have done wrong. I'm hoping that it is, so I can just fix it very easily. I'm hoping it's not a bug or something wrong with the plane. I'm hoping it is just a pilot error that I can fix myself. But I've turned the autopilot off and the plane seems to be going fine. So I'll get it trimmed up nicely and we'll continue to fly manual. Uh-oh, I'm getting the stick shake again. The stick vibrating. What's going on here? Are we going too fast? Airspeed too low. Increase airspeed to a storm. We're doing 300, aren't we? Is there something wrong with the speed gauges? Auto throttle is off. Autopilot is off. There's our speed there. It says 13,000 feet. Basically had her at full throttle there. Going to bring it down. Going to bring it down manually because we're going to turn to the left and head up the Palm Springs Valley here as we get over these mountains. And we're going to cruise in manually to Palm Springs International Airport. But I don't think the speed is working correctly, isn't it? The speed gauge is not working correctly. We're definitely not doing 30 knots. So we got a bug or we got a problem there, I think, guys. Let me know in the comments if there's something that I've done wrong. But I'm getting a lot of stick vibrating and shaking as if I'm sort of over speeding. That's what it feels like through the flight yoke. Right, so we'll head round to the left up through the valley. Altitude 9,000 feet. So this is hand flying, guys, not just no autopilot on this trip. The whole trip is going to be completely manual, just like the old days. We're flying by dead reckoning. I think that's what they call it, dead reckoning. Though we have got our flight plan on our screen down there, which we can follow. It's a beautiful day, we've got good visibility, so there's no reason why we can't manually fly this plane all the way to Palm Springs and just do a manual landing. The problem I have though is the speed gauge is not working, so I have no idea how many knots I'm doing, how fast I'm going. Absolutely no idea. Right, so we're heading up Palm Springs Valley now, towards Palm Springs. And we're around about 5,000 feet, 4,000 there. I'm going to keep it down about 3,000 to 4,000, just so I cruise up the valley because the airport will sneak up on us quite quickly. But it really does look like the speed gauge is frozen and we have no idea what speed we're traveling at. Which could be a little bit of a problem when we land, try to drop our flaps and our gear. The other problem is, do we have a manual? Do we have an analog speed gauge for backup? That is an interesting question. Do we have an analog speed gauge for backup? I don't know. But this plane is quite nice to hand fly, I have to say. Apart from that bouncing up and down bug, it is quite nice to fly, and everything seems to work and load beautifully. But just let me know in the comments, is that a bug, the way the nose bounces up and down, or is it something that I have done wrong because I'm an idiot? Very well could be. In fact, I hope it is, because then I can fix the issue. A bit of pilot training on myself will fix the issue. Okay, I'm at 2,500 feet, but we are getting close to the airport, I feel. Just go over this little ridge on my left up here. And then we turn around to the right and we are pretty much at the airport. So I need to come down a little bit. I really need to get my flaps down as well. Be a bit slower. To retract flaps. Pilot assistance. Some gears down here. Gear down as we head towards the airport. Can't quite see it yet, but must be coming up. Get our flaps down a bit more. No idea what speed we're doing. I don't know if I'm about to stall or not. I am a little bit nervous in regards to speed. But we have got our flaps in gear down without any warning bells going off. It's a good sight. There's the airport straight ahead there. I can see it. As we come in over beautiful Palm Springs. So let's see how we go with the landing, eh? Bit hard when you have no idea how fast you're going. Stuck on 30. It's frozen on 250 knots.
Quite slow, 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 quite slow. Quite slow, quite slow, quite slow, quite slow.
Oh, shut up.
Quite slow, 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 quite slow. Quite slow.
Beautiful scenery as we come in over Palm Springs.
Quite slow, 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 quite slow. Quite slow, quite slow, quite slow, quite slow.
We're about 1,000 feet.
Quite slow, 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 quite slow.
And not being able to not able to see how fast I'm going. I don't know how close I am to stalling. No idea at all. But we do seem to be able to hold our angle and our altitude with our flaps down and our gear down. So I got no idea how fast we're going. So this will be a very interesting approach and landing, and I wish I could turn that jolly glide slope sound off. There we go. Right, here we go, guys. Wish me luck here. See if we can land without stalling it or going too fast and breaking all our gear and bursting our tires. I've got to say, it is nice to manually fly this plane. It really is. It works well. It's just that bouncing up and down bug. I don't know what that is. I think once we fix that, sort that issue out, this will be quite a nice little flight. It's not a study level plane by any means, but it seems to be quite nice to fly. Does everything it's supposed to do. Right, let's drop our speed.
800.
Whoa, too low, too low.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Too low. Okay, let it down, let it down, let it down. There we go. Haven't got my reverse thrusters sorted out yet, unfortunately. But there we go, we got her down. We got her down. If we can get her over to the gates, that will be very nice, and I can't wait to get back to my iFly 737 Max and Flight Sim 2020. I'm missing her already. And I got to figure out to turn those taxi arrows off. I thought it was the T, but it's not T. Maybe it's Shift T or something, I'm not sure. But let's get over and park at the gates. I think I'm going to do this flight again in the iFly 737, just so that it can be really, really successful and I can enjoy it even a bit more. It's just nice when everything goes according to plan and you don't have any major hiccups. It's a very enjoyable simulator when you can do that, and you don't have to worry about bugs or anything going wrong or anything silly happening. I'm really hoping that issue is my fault, so that next time I fly I can do things a bit better. So let me know in the comments, guys. I'd be very keen to know. We're taxiing to the gate here. Going a bit too fast. It's a pretty basic airport, this one. Pretty basic vanilla airport. If I do the flight again on my iFly 737 in 2020, you'll see how nice this airport is. Just absolutely gorgeous. I presume there will be some updates for it later, but that'll probably be even more blocky than it is now. So I'm not in a hurry to upgrade all the airports, to be honest. I just want it to run smooth as it is now, and I'll be happy. Not a great frame rate, even though I've got things turned down a bit. Not a great frame rate at all. So this is Palm Springs, just down through the valley there in the haze. That is the direction we go. We head down the valley there, that way, to head over to Los Angeles when we do our loop around. Right, let's hope our brakes are working. We can stop in the right place here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, park brakes on. And look, the gate is coming out to connect up automatically. That is very cool. I like that. That is cool. Thank you very much. Come on. Come on. And the door opens. Yep. Lovely. I like that. I like that. I just wish we didn't have that little hiccup with the bouncing up and down. So if anyone knows how we can avoid that, let me know in the comments. I think if we can get past that issue, it's probably a pilot issue, but if we can get past that issue, I'm quite confident we could use this 737 for Jet and Airways services in Flight Sim 24. Just in a basic A to B little situation, really. Because it seems very stable now. No crash to desktops. Everything ran smoothly. So let's hope we can solve that issue. Thanks for watching, guys, and I say thank you in advance for anyone who makes a comment and gives me any helpful hints or tips. Enjoy your Flight Simulator 24 or 2020. Have fun. You fly the way you want to. Don't worry about what anyone else says. Over and out, guys. Happy flying. Cheers.